Hey guys, I hope you're doing well. Happy Wednesday. So today we are continuing to do our adding and subtracting decimals. So we talked about having decimals that have two decimal places, making sure that the decimal places are lined up, and then you just treat it like a regular three-digit number that you would add or subtract. So today we are going to continue, however, this time we're dealing with different types of decimal places. So for now, let's just hop into our review. All right, so we have $5.95 minus $3.79. So our decimals are already lined up, so all I'm going to do is just move a decimal down here, so I already know it's going to be there, and now I just subtract as normal. So I do 5 minus 9, can't do that, so I have to borrow. This gives me 8, this gives me 15. 15 minus 9 is 6. 8 minus 7 is 1. And then I have 5 minus 3, which is 2. Things that are to the right of the decimal stay to the right. Things that are to the left stay to the left. So there we are. We have $2.16. Now for adding, same thing. We have to make sure our decimals are lined up, and I put a decimal down there ahead of time so it's already there for me. And now I just add as normal. So 7 plus 9 is 16. So I put my 1 up there. 1 plus 3, that's 6. Plus 1 is 7. Things are to the right, stay to the right. Now I'm doing my left side. 6 plus 4 equals 10. So we have $10.76, or 10.76. And there we are. All right, now we have decimals that are a little bit different. So what happens now when we have decimal numbers that, we have a whole number here and we have a decimal number there. We have two decimal places here, but only one here. Nothing, or a whole number here and two decimal places there. How do we tackle that kind of addition and subtraction problems? Well, it's actually very similar to how we were doing it before, except this time you have to put some zeros. All right, so I'm going to show you an example. So 5 plus 3.7. So can I just do this? Because normally when I add a two-digit number and a one-digit number, that's how I'd line them up. No, I can't do it this way, because 5 is a whole number. If I'm putting it over here, that makes it seem like it's a decimal number, and that's not what we're trying to do. So, easiest way to do this is we're going to put 5 first. Every whole number, regardless of what it is, always has an imaginary 0.0 after it. And it can have a bunch of zeros after it. This is still a whole number. Those point zeros are just a placeholder. So we're going to use them to help us line up our decimals. So I put 5 and I put 0.0. All right, it's still 5. So if I had $5, it's like saying $5 versus $5. It's the same thing. All right, so I'm just going to put that 5.0 as a placeholder, and then I'm going to line up my 3.7. So I put 3.7. I make sure those decimals places are lined up, and then again, I can put them here ahead of time, so it's already done for me. And now I just add them like normal. So 0 plus 7 is 7. 5 plus 3 is 8. So my final answer in this case is 8.7. All right, now what if we have a number that has two decimal places versus one decimal place? Well, that rule I told you about putting 0.0 after a rule, after it, you can kind of do the same thing here. And I'll show you what I mean. So I'm going to put up 7.29 here for now. what I'm going to do is I'm going to see my numbers that are before the decimal spot. So I have 7 and a 4. These are both to the left of those decimal spots. I'm going to put my 4 here, so that way when I put the decimal down, it lines up. And I put 1 there. Now, if I want, I can put a 0 after this one because it's still worth 4.1. The 0 I'm just going to use as a placeholder. Now I'm going to subtract them. All right, so it's a similar rule to last time when you just put 0.00, except this time you're just adding zeros onto, you're just tagging zeros onto the end of a number. All right, so now I have 7.29 minus 4.10. So 9 minus 0. So make sure our decimals are lined up. They are. I can put one there ahead of time. 9 minus 0 is 9. 2 minus 1 is 1. 7 minus 4 is 3. And that's my final answer, is 3.19. And there we are. Last one is 9 plus 2.95. So for this one, similar rule to how we did the first question. We had a whole number and we had to tag on a 0.0 after it in order for it to line up. We're going to do the same thing this time. I'm going to put 9, except you see how this 2.95 has 2 numbers after the decimal? So I'm going to put a point and I'm going to put 2 zeros in place there. So I have 9.00. That way, when I put 2.95, I can put 2 down here, line up my decimals, and have 9.5. There we are. And now I can just add them like I normally would add decimals. So I have my decimal places. I can just put one down there ahead of time. 0 plus 5 is 5. 0 plus 9 is 9. 2 plus 9 is 11. And that's my final answer, is 11.95. All right, and there you are. So remember, if it's a whole number plus a decimal, you have to put that whole number down plus a decimal point and then 0, 0. I recommend doing that just because it helps you line up the numbers better when you're adding or subtracting them. You don't necessarily have to, but it's much easier to accidentally put that number in the wrong spot. So put a decimal and 0 afterwards just to help you, especially as you get used to adding and subtracting decimals. If you don't have the same number of decimal places, you can put a 0 in that place just temporarily. Make sure your decimals are always lined up. If they're not lined up, you will not have the correct answer and the math will not work out. All right, if you guys have any questions whatsoever, feel free to email me. I'm always available. Otherwise, I hope you have a fantastic couple days. I will see you guys on Friday.